Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Grayboardgamer here. And today I have decided to play Escape the Dark Castle, the game of atmospheric adventure. I've been really enjoying this game lately and wanted to do a playthrough. There is a dedicated solo version in the rulebook. It simply says that you're going to play 2 characters, but I don't see any harm in playing 4 characters because there are no solo specific rules in the rulebook. So instead of doing just a regular 2 character solo game, I'm going to go ahead and do a full 4 character solo playthrough. Without further delay, let's get this box open and get it set up. The first thing you're going to do is take this large deck of large chapter cards and you're going to shuffle it and choose 15 at random and leave them face down to form the castle deck. I'll go ahead and do that right now. The deck has been shuffled, but as always I like to do things on camera. These cards are way too big for me to do in any reasonable fashion, so I'm just going to split the deck, cut it a few times, and use that as a substitute for my normal shuffling on camera. Next we will take 15 of those, and those will form the castle deck. The remaining cards are discarded and not used in this playthrough. To our castle deck we're going to add one of these 5 boss cards, and because I like random, we'll bring the dice tray in, roll a 6-sided die, and of course roll a 6. Okay, we got a 4, so this will be our boss card, which will go face down underneath the deck. The other 4 will be discarded and not used in this playthrough. Next, we'll place the start card on top of the deck. Next, we have our item card deck. We'll shuffle this and place it next to the castle deck. Deck is shuffled. We'll give it another quick mix and place it next to the castle deck. There are 6 characters to choose from, and you can see scratched in the wall behind them are their traits. Their name is just above their picture. We have the tanner, the miller, the abbot, the tailor, the smith, and the cook. I will choose my characters at random as always. We want 4 characters. We'll take character 6, 4. Let's remove those 2. So we got 4 and 6, the tailor and cook. That leaves us with the tanner, the miller, the abbot, and the smith. That's 4. So the smith and 3. 3 and 4, the abbot and the smith, are also part of our group. The tanner and the miller will not be used for this playthrough. Each character has their own custom die with their name on it, as you can see here for the cook, and the symbols align with what we see on the wall etched next to them. So here the cook has 1 might, 1 wisdom, a 2nd might, a cunning, and then a double cunning and a double might. So that would be 4 might symbols, 3 cunning, and 1 wisdom. And if we look on her card, 4 might, 3 cunning, 1 wisdom. In addition to the character dice, we have the chapter dice. It's this set of 9 dice. They're all the same. They have a might on 2 sides, a cunning on 2 sides, and a wisdom symbol on 2 sides. There are 9 of them in total. They will get placed just above off screen to create the dice pool for the chapter dice. Each player will keep track of their hit points. In this case, that would be me. In a 4-player game, each player gets 12 hit points. In a 3-player game, they get 14. In a 1 or 2-player game, they get 18. In this case, the cook, tailor, smith, and abbot all have 12 each to start. I don't know how well these will show up on camera, but I grabbed 4 of my 20-sided dice in order to keep track of their health. I didn't want you to have to deal with my chicken scratch handwriting. And I tried to grab ones that were white or gray or muted colors in order to stick with the black and white theme of the game. If it's too hard to see them on video, I will continue to mention what each character is at, and whenever they take damage, what their current hit points are to keep you up to date. The game is set up, we're ready to go. The object is for us to go through this entire deck of 15 cards and get to the boss card, defeat the boss, and escape the Dark Castle. If at any time during the game any one of our 4 characters dies by reaching 0 health, the game is over, we all lose. Also, to note, each character can only hold 2 items at any time. There are some items that are labeled as two-handed, and at that time, that character can only hold that 1 item. Items can also be used at any time unless it specifically gives a time on the item card itself that it can only be used. And finally, we can trade items between players at the end of each chapter. And a chapter is one of the cards in the chapter deck. Every time we complete one of those cards all the way through, we're able to swap items at that time if we would like. We're all set. We're ready to go. One more rule is whenever you go to turn a new card, you have to designate who is turning that card. If we were playing with 4 people, whoever would reach the card, turn it, and read it out to the players, it would obviously be them. But since I'm doing a 4-player solo game, I will designate which player is opening the next card. And we are now ready to begin. And just like the card says, we'll turn over to begin.